Hey, so you're thinking about moving to Milton or Crabapple, or is that the exact same thing?
A little bit of
I don't know.
Alpharetta, Roswell.
If you don't live here, it's really hard to figure out what the hell to call this place, but we're gonna break all that down in this video, as well as show you a couple of properties and some couple of different price points and give you a little bit of tour of downtown Milton. And so if you have any interest in living here, you're gonna wanna stick around for that, and we're gonna get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good and the bad of living in Atlanta, Georgia, well, subscribe below and ring the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market here in Atlanta and when we release new content just like this. My name's Denny, this is Hutch, and Gavin's guest starring. The team and I, we get calls each and every day from people just like you looking to make the move to Atlanta. We absolutely love it. So whether you're moving next week, next year, or anytime in between, call, text, email, schedule a Zoom. Happy to help you make a smooth move to Atlanta. So we're here in the downtown Milton or Crabapple area. The reason we say that is because those terms are really used interchangeably. Many years ago, it was called Crabapple, but Crabapple, Hutch, it's like Roswell
meets, Alpharetta meets,
Milton.
Yeah. Milton's newly incorporated.
But Crabapple's not like an official thing. Like if you look around, this is the Crabapple Market. We're in the amphitheater. There's shops, dining, restaurants, banks, coffee shops, all that kind of stuff around here. But right across the street, right there behind Mr. Hutch, is
Milton.
That's Milton City Hall. So like, what do you call it? Well, you can call it any of that. But for the sake of this video, this is Milton.
This is Milton.
So we're gonna give you a tour of Milton. We're also gonna, if you stick around to the end, we're gonna come back. We're gonna do a market report so you can understand days on market, the median income, price, age, all that kind of stuff in Milton proper. And then one of the great parts about Milton specifically is the school systems. In Milton High School, we have Gavin joining us today. You wanna say hey?
Hello.
He is a student over at Milton High School. You play any sports over there?
I do.
Which one?
Golf.
Golf.
Yep.
What's your handicap?
3.
3. That, for those of you that don't play golf, that means whatever par is, that's the score you're supposed to get. Gavin here shoots just 3 shots over par in most courses.
That's pretty amazing.
Gavin, you know what my handicap is?
That's hole 1 for me.
What?
My swing.
Yeah, that's hole
That's
1.
a golf joke. I'm sorry. I'm from Augusta.
1.
Yeah, I'm from Augusta, so I like golf jokes. What do you love about Milton High School?
It's just the community's great. All the students there are great. Teachers are great. Just a great community.
What about the area in general? How long have y'all lived here?
Like 5 years.
5 years. Where'd you come from?
Colorado, actually.
Colorado. See, people are coming from California, New York, Texas, Colorado, all over. You happy with the move?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part?
I like how everything's like, you can like just go to like dinner and have fun. Like everything's like just right there in like that area. In Colorado, everything's like everything's spread out. Here, it's just you can do whatever you want within like 10 minutes.
So you're with a couple of friends.
Yeah.
On a golf cart.
On a golf cart.
What's going on with the golf
Friday
cart?
afternoon.
Yeah, we're just hanging out with friends, you know, having a good time.
But they allow golf carts around here.
They do.
Right?
Yep.
That's becoming a bigger and bigger thing here in Milton.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate Gavin joining us. We're going to get on our tour. We're going to show you a couple of homes and a couple of different price points, see what fits in your budget, and we'll come back for that market recap. And let's go see the first stop on our tour. All right, so here on our first stop, this is your prototypical Milton kind of entry-level price point. I love this neighborhood because the yards look like they're well manicured. Looks like there's great pride in home ownership. Hey, buddy. This looks like Piper. How are you? Good morning. Here you got friendly neighbors too. I always love running into the neighbors when I'm doing this. This house behind me is very cute right here. The house I'm going to show you is built in 1983. It's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, 2,400 square feet. And it's listed at just $575,000, which is a phenomenal value in Milton. I will tell you that although it was built in 1983, it's been tastefully updated. Here, let me spin around. This is the property we're talking about here. It's been tastefully updated, so gray paint, nice hardwood floors that look like they're in great shape throughout the house. But the kitchens and bathrooms, they were renovated, looks like maybe 10 or 15 years ago based on the design choices. So The location is amazing. You're literally just like 4 minutes from a Crabapple, maybe 7 minutes from downtown Alpharetta, 8 or 9 minutes to the Avalon. Schools are great, so there's a lot to love. The most value in this home is in the location, but it's a great home for a family, and the schools, like I said, are really great. So if you have young kids and youth sports, the schools around here are phenomenal for athletics as well. So that's what you get for kind of a starting point in Milton. On to the next stop. All right, so here on our second stop, the reason that I wanted to share this with you is because this is a prime example of not understanding the market.
Right. Man.
First of all, the confusion in Crabapple versus Milton. Well, the listing agent is also confused because in the listing it says Crabapple / Milton. So if no one can ever make a decision, everyone forever, they're just gonna have an identity crisis.
There's a slash. There's obviously no slash in the tax record. There's no slash. All sorts of resources they could have looked at. There's no slash.
So this property, let me just swing around. You're in a cul-de-sac. This is a true little enclave. That's it.
Out of the way.
That's it.
Yeah, pretty simple,
So,
straightforward home.
6 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, a little over 4,500 square feet. It's priced at $999,000, puts it in the $220-ish a foot range. Property was built in 2014. The reason that, so it's not new construction, but it's newer, right?
It's newer.
But the reason we want to share this with you is because, in my humble opinion, this is like an $800 to maybe aspirationally $850,000.
Yeah. Yeah, if I was shooting for the moon, which I wouldn't, I'd give the buyers the choice, right? I'd price it a little lower, let the market decide where they want to go. But if I was shooting for the moon, at most, I'd ask $825, $850 for this.
So days on market in this area?
3 to 4.
That thing's been on the market 29 days. So here's
Unheard
what I can
of around here.
Here's what I can
Unheard.
tell you. If it's priced right, it sells. If they're crazy, that's not a $999. That's an $800 is probably the number in this current market.
I mean, where we're at right now at the end of May, I probably would have come in somewhere, you know, around 800, maybe even 750. Just to let buyers have the discussion and then let them make the decision. If they decide it was worth 825, for sure. But it'd be sold in a few days.
Yeah, here's what I will tell you. Would it take us 7 minutes from downtown Crabapple?
Oh,
from
yeah.
Milton?
I mean,
and we're maybe 10 minutes from Alpharetta.
Absolutely.
Well, if that. I mean, so the location. Same thing, Roswell. Like, the location's perfect.
Yeah.
School's perfect. All that stuff is great. It's a phenomenal property, but it's not going to sell at $1 million. So I usually say on these videos, it's probably not going to be available when you're watching this. Depends on how stubborn they are. It might be available when you're watching it, but I wouldn't pay that for it. So with all that being said, let's get on to the next stop on our tour. All right, well, this is Milton living at its finest. I say at its finest would be like 10 acres, 10,000 square feet, $5 or $10 million. What I really mean is, if you are wondering what it's like to live in Milton, this is it. This property is 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, 7,500 square feet. And believe it or not, this is the best value on the tour. And what I mean by that, it is just $200 a square foot. It's over an acre, 1.11 acres in a very sought after community. Just minutes from downtown Milton, Crabapple area, just 10 minutes from Alpharetta proper, 5 minutes from the high school, which is highly rated when it comes to both academics and athletics. This neighborhood, there's no, cookie cutter homes. Everything is custom, all the homes are unique and different. Very active HOA. You have a pool, clubhouse, tennis courts, playground, even a private lake where you could go fishing and walking trails around it. So at $1.5 million, this is a great value in the Milton area. If you were to go through the home, what you're going to find are, 10, 20, 30-foot ceilings, coffered ceilings, multiple offices, a media room, in-law suite, guest suite, everything that you could imagine. The master bathroom is very spa-like and nice, so there's nothing lacking in this property. And if you want to know what it's like to live in Milton, this is it. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the tour. Let's go back and talk about the overall market and kind of what makes Milton unique. All right, well, hopefully you enjoyed that tour. I know it can be a little unnerving when you see the entry point into the Milton, into the community, but we get people who ask us about Milton and Crabapple all the time, and so we wanted to give you guys some insights into what the market might look like. We're gonna just break down some data so you guys can, on top of being able to see some properties, also understand kind of what's happened here over the last couple of years and what's going on and why it's become so attractive. But before we do that, as we always do, it's either craft beer or craft coffee. Today's beer.
Today's beer. We'll have to do both at some point, like beer and coffee. The mustache.
I
like it.
I'm a little Guinness stash going on.
You could Santa Claus it.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe if I go too far, I'll get it in the nose. But we are at Old Blind Dog. This has been here probably longer than all of the other developments. Like, I came here for St. Patty's Day. I'd have to go back and look at this timestamp on the pictures, but it's probably been like 15 years. I mean, like,
been here a while, yeah.
They just built just this one strip of buildings.
Yeah, it was literally the one building
that we're in.
Yeah, there's like 5 of them now, but this one building was here 2006. I think they opened.
I think it was this building, and then we all stood in the parking lot and drank during the day for St. Patty's Day.
There was no fence or anything. Now they put a fence up. They're like, we'll keep these people safe so they don't wander into traffic. But then you just wandered off into open lots back then.
In that time frame, I had either just started or was about to start dating Ashley. A few years later, married with kids. So we're talking like single Denny way back.
Whoa!
So there was definitely some Irish car bombs.
I was here with you.
Involved.
We didn't know anything. Or at least that night we didn't.
Yeah.
For sure.
The reason that you're here, which is the market. So the median home value, as you could see on the tour, was right at $1 million. That's why that was the one in the middle that we showed you, is that price point. But the incomes are much higher here too. I mean, median household income is at over $130,000 a year.
Yep.
As you pointed out, and I didn't notice, the average age is 39.
39 seems a little young. 130, 39. That's different than the rest of the country at whole. But,
right.
Yeah, a little younger, higher household incomes.
And then population's around 40,000 people. So It's not huge booming metropolis, but it's not a tiny little town either. One of the things I love is that it's super convenient to everything.
Yeah, you can get to 400, the highway, get to Atlanta. There's a road that shoots right down there, right? You can get up to Woodstock, Arnold Mill heads right up to Woodstock,
You can basically get to all of the other vlogs on our suburb vlogs on our channel. You can you go to Woodstock, you can go to Roswell, you can go to Alpharetta, you can go to Cumming.
And I don't know if you knew this, but they are talking about and started to widen the sidewalks in case they make an agreement, but a downtown Alpharetta to downtown Milton golf cart path.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be epic, right? Yeah, that would be fantastic. I'm driving, but not driving.
So outside of just this little strip, maybe you can give some context on the development or the developer. I can tell you this. If we're going to do a full walking tour of Crabapple, so you can see what I'm talking about. But cycling is really popular here. So one of the things you'll notice if you're driving around Milton, a couple things. One, minimum lot size is an acre, so they're big lots.
Yeah,
big lots.
Yeah.
Lots of farm-style houses and fences, and you're going to see a lot of horses. There's tons. I'm from Augusta, Georgia. Aiken, South Carolina was the kind of horse community. Yeah. Well, in North Atlanta, Milton is the horse community.
Yeah, in the 80s and 90s in Atlanta, if you know, there was a few choices, right? You could have a house on Lake Lanier, you could have a house in the mountains, right? Or you could have an equestrian farmhouse. You could have a house in the country, right? This was the country, right? Right. We're $1 million median home price now, but this was the country,
right.
And you know, people would have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath ranch, but then have 6 acres with horses.
Yeah. I just bought a house. That's probably not news to you unless this is your first video, and I'm probably 10 to 12 minutes north of here, and we have a little over 4 acres. And I was telling Hutch earlier, our neighbors, like I'm pulling out of my driveway and I look up, there's a llama. Like literally, our neighbor has llamas.
Right.
So
right.
I knew goats,
Yeah.
horses, all that was going to happen, but I was not expecting
Lemus or llamas.
No. And my daughter, my second oldest, she loves llamas, so she has like llama PJs and llama books, and so she's ecstatic that we have llamas.
Yeah, because there's a real llama.
But in this area, cycling. So if you're into cycling, you'll see lots of meetups and mostly guys, some women out doing cycling.
Big deal around here.
Whitetail, the bicycle shop right down the street, or right next door. They sell Cannondale bikes along with lattes and beer. So you can get a coffee, go for a ride, come back and have a beer. Like that's their thing.
Yeah, it's
there's
the best bike shop ever.
Yeah, there's a really great park right over here that my kids were playing at over the weekend. You have pizza, seafood, steak, American food, Irish pub. Like you have all the dining and shopping and the things that you want in like a downtown area.
Yep. Antico Pizza.
Yeah. So this is technically the Nest Cafe. So this is Milton, but it's Crabapple.
Well, and Alpharetta. and Roswell.
And Roswell too.
Yeah. And Roswell. And it depends how long you've been here. Kind of.
Depends on what street you're on. Depends on how long you've lived here. And depends on who you ask. Which is why it's hard to pin it down. But the downtown, like this is technically downtown
This
Milton.
is downtown Milton now, for sure. Like as far as
City Hall, police department,
as far as the
that
state's
stuff.
concerned, right? Milton runs this now. So, Alpharetta here, Roswell here, right? And then what happens is that you those two cities, and then we've been calling it Crabapple for years, but Milton was like, whoop, we're also here. Right, yeah. So you've got these 3 towns or 3 cities that kind of meet here, and then they call it a little area, which is common in Georgia. Yeah. I mean, they rename the whole area.
In this area, like you might hear the Crabapple, Alpharetta, Milton,
interchangeably used.
But for the sake of our channel, like we have downtown Alpharetta videos, walking towards Babylon, and a whole Alpharetta vlog. Like this is really like Milton.
This is downtown Milton
is where we're at.
Yeah. So to be fair to you guys, right? When we show you downtown Alpharetta, that town hall and everything, that's what we showed you today, right? We showed you the town hall, all of that.
Most people, I'd say, if you wanted to narrow it down, people call this Milton or Crabapple. Those are the two that
only two they call it now. Yeah.
Even though it kind of has some hodgepodge of other stuff. How about Milton High School?
Milton High School, powerhouse in Georgia.
If you're really looking to be competitive, to have your kids in a competitive environment as it relates to high school sports, like Milton is one of them, academically, athletically, and even theater and stuff like that.
Yeah, languages. They have fencing. I don't know if you knew
I did not know that.
Yeah. So they actually have a fencing team.
My 5 and 3-year-old boys would love that because they chop everything off. They hit everything with everything's a sword. So we talked about the population, income, the median home price. What about like days on market, or is it still a seller's market? Have things changed? What's the market like?
The full May statistics aren't in, right? But the current statistics are still bearing out that while things may be, extending a little bit days on market, that's not happening in Milton. I mean, it's still 3-4 days on market.
Just looking for the homes that we showed you, the one 575, like that's the only one. Like,
people just pounce on it.
Yeah.
It's cage match out, and and there's no open house. They just have a cage match of wrestling in the front yard.
Whoever
comes out of the cage first
They win.
is the one who gets the house. There's no bidding on it anymore. There's no multiple offers. There's just a cage match in the front yard.
Yeah. So it is still highly competitive, even with rates going up, even with the quote-unquote leveling off of the market. This particular area is super competitive.
Insulated, from that.
There's not a lot of inventory and lots of competition. So
exactly, it's because it's so great. Yeah. I mean, really, that's what people are coming here for.
If you want to be my neighbor,
which you don't, just don't. Don't do it. It's tempting. Don't do it.
I joke with people all the time. When you drive to our house, we're 5 minutes off of any road that is paved with a line on it.
Right.
So, you know, you have to factor in when I say it's 20 minutes to just about anywhere. It's because the first 5 minutes is getting out of the driveway.
Yeah, slipping and sliding on the gravel.
There are a couple of driveways with names,
exactly.
And then we get to a road. We love Milton, and I'm sure you would too. So if you're interested in looking in this area, as always, whether it's next week, next year, anytime in between, call, text, email. We appreciate all of our subscribers. If you haven't, subscribe down there, ring the bell for notification. That way you know when we release new videos and content like this. If you have a question, comment, like what was your favorite house? Do you prefer horses or llamas? Like what are some other... Let us know. We always love feedback. But in all reality, until we see you on the next episode, hopefully you found some value in this video, and we'll see you soon. Take care.